Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hussla Squad podcast. Now, in this episode, Kiro delves deeper into the psychological models that the bookies use against gamblers to continually entice them to keep coming back, and it explains why they bet the way that they do, as well as why they become addicted. We also talk about a specific bookie that you should never use due to an alarming recent trend. We talk about a crazy DM that we received this week from a random person off our Instagram, and we also discuss where we think the industry is going in the near and distant future. Enjoy. If you have any questions, leave a comment or send us a DM on Instagram.
JP, welcome back.
Thanks, man.
So, interesting topic I want to cover.
Yep.
I think we sort of touched on it last time, was why is gambling so prevalent in Australian society, and sort of where do you think the industry is going? I know you don't like giving predictions, but it'll be interesting to hear what your thoughts on that, because a lot of people are saying, these promos and whatnot are, going to disappear. So where you think it's heading. But we'll start off with probably the first topic on, I know you've got some interesting stats for us, but yeah, where do you think, where's the gambling industry at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it worse. I know probably 5 to 7 years ago when I was doing it, or 3 to 5 years ago when I was doing it heavily, I wasn't kind of in all these groups where I was kind of seeing all how bad it was, how much losing goes on. But when you're in these groups, you really see what goes on, and you start talking to people and you don't realise how bad it is. Some of the messages we received this week from people who just, like, some guys message us and say they've lost, like, they're losing 5K a month, 10K a month in some cases, and it's like, fuck, like, how much money are the bookies making? And you don't realise it. And I was looking at some stats before, and it's like 35 to 40% of the population, adult population, is spending money on gambling every month in some way, shape, or form. I think the average is about $100 on sports and $225 on racing per month. Wow. And the category of 18 to 34-year-old males is the worst in terms of the likelihood of them getting involved with gambling, increasing their spending on gambling, signing up to new agencies. And it's just, I think we're going to talk in more depth about like why that is later. Yeah. But I think it's just becoming so much of a cultural issue in Australia, and everyone does it. You speak to like 18 to 25-year-olds, and it'd be very hard to find someone who doesn't gamble or at least has dabbled in it in some way. And I think it's almost an expectation. Like, all your mates do it. And it's almost like, you're just expected to lose. You're expected to do a multi every weekend, have some fun. Whether you're winning or losing, it doesn't matter, because you're having fun, man. It's fun to do it every week because all your mates are doing it. And where this becomes an issue is where does the line stop where it becomes fun versus recklessness and essentially
starts having impact in your life.
Behavior where exactly it's impacting your life. And a lot of people just think it's okay to lose 200 a week, even though they're only making 800 a week or 500 a week in some cases. So I mean, obviously not everybody is in this boat. Not everyone's got a gambling issue, but the issues are there and you can't ignore them. And a lot of people hide behind the fun and all that stuff. Yeah. But maybe you can talk about more of the like scientific psychology, the long terms and the whiz-bang terms, because you love a bit of literature. Yeah. But
before we touch on that, I got to say, like, first of all, what are the groups you've been seeing a lot of this in? And, I think, why are those groups, growing so quickly? In your opinion? Yeah,
so do you want to name them?
I don't want to name them. Just
Facebook groups, man. Generally, there's like a few on Facebook in Australia. There's a few, like, over 50,000 people in them, and some of the comments in there, man, and some of the people that you read, and it's just like, man, like, you just want to like put a bomb under them, like, obviously not kill them, but like you want to wake them up and like just blow their brain up so that they just get rid of this idea. Yeah. Because they're all in the same boat. They're all there for a quick fix. They're all there to win a Tatslotto multi. Yeah. And they're all there to do that because someone's posted a green tick multi and that's why they've seen it. The cover photo might be like a 50K win that someone hit 1 in 100,000 bets. Yeah. And suddenly everybody in that group's trying to do the same thing. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. And it's like you going and seeing someone win Tatslotto and then becoming addicted to Tatslotto. You're essentially doing the same thing and not realizing it when you're doing these multis, because the bookies love it. Like, they love multis. They want every punter doing multis because they know they're going to win in the long term. And it's literally like printing money for them. It'd be essentially like running a business knowing you can't lose. And unfortunately, though, in these groups, when you become part of the herd, when everyone's trying to do the same thing, it becomes contagious. Your environment's all the same, and then eventually, like, everyone's just going to lose more because you're going to get FOMO because someone's posted a 15-legger that you might be able to catch up and make up for your losses in the past month.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, that loses. You want to go again because you missed out, etc., etc. It just keeps going, man. It's a domino effect, and obviously, yeah, that's what's causing the problems.
You know, I was just thinking before. Do you think the sporting culture in Australia is sort of linked to this gambling culture?
Yeah, definitely. And this is the thing, like, people won't even watch sport nowadays unless they have an interest or an investment on the bet, on the match, sorry. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a bet, firstly. Like, obviously, if you want to have fun and you want to bet, I don't know, 0.5% of your paycheck every week, fine, go and do it. But that's not what a lot of people are doing. And I think... people now, because it's so prevalent, advertising, like every 2 seconds, Sportsbet is posting same game multis on the TV, Ladbrokes posting new shit, you're getting offers sent to your phone all the time, bonus bets, same game multis, 2-leg fails, 1-leg fails, bonus back, all that. Great advertising, absolutely genius marketing. Like, I promise you that they're the best way to get into your head is gambling companies, and the way they market, the colours, the sounds... Everything. The way they present it, the relatability of the ads is just elite. Like, you can't get better marketing than what they do.
Yeah.
But they're only sending those ads out because they know that it's going to generate revenue for them, and that's what their aim is. They want to make money because of us. Like, they want Australia to donate to them. For entertainment. And it's no luck that they make 17 billion a year. Just off sport and horse racing. Like, that's not a chance.
Exactly. I think to an extent also COVID has really helped them. In terms, I think there's a stat that came up by the government, like 1 in 3 people, open a sports betting account over the last 2 years. Obviously in Melbourne we had the worst lockdowns in the world. And it's sort of like linked to what you said, like, you can't watch a game without placing a bet. It's all, fun and okay, like if you're just losing $10 or whatever, but some of the stats you said, like what, 150 or something for sport, 100 for sports
100
betting,
and 225
225 for horsing.
I mean, that doesn't sound like much in a month,
but it adds
that's
up.
An average.
That's an average and adds up. Like what's that a year? Like 2,400 or something. That's a holiday.
And
you know what I mean? Like
100%. It's more. It's like
it's
$2,000.
It's ridiculous, and I think COVID has sort of, I think helped with their marketing stuff. But before I thought we go into the sort of the psychological models of like what influences gambling and the behaviors associated with it. Where do you see the sort of the industry going in the next probably 5-10 years towards the end of the decade with this move that's going, like we're going towards this virtual sort of society, right? Like everything's going online. Like you see more and more people bet online for sports. They don't go to the TAB and bet, right? So where do you see us, or see this sort of industry going in sort of the next 5-10 years? Obviously, these are all predictions for those watching. It's nothing.
We're not going to sit here and make predictions because, I mean, we can, but we don't care if we're right or wrong. At the end of the day, we're giving our opinions based off our expertise and what we see in our communities. But we've seen it already develop in terms of match betting going from being this like ultra easy thing to do without getting promo banned to now being much harder to sustain your accounts. And obviously that's why we have our courses, and I guess that's what separates the people who are still doing this now versus the guys who come in and try and do it and they get banned within a month because they're complete rookies and they just have no idea how to sustain accounts, and they're like a deer in headlights to the bookies. But in terms of where we see the whole industry going, I can't see it getting any better. Like in terms of people, those stats are going to keep getting worse. It's becoming more common. It's getting worse. There's more advertising. There's more pumping of these offers, and there's more pumping of the markets that they know they're going to win. You don't see Sportsbet encouraging you to put a single head-to-head bet on. Because they know their margin is not good in those. Obviously, they're still going to win because of the spreads. But in terms of the ratio of money that they earn per dollar spent is on multis, same-game multis. Same-game multis are the best, and they will keep promoting those. So you're going to see more of the offers shift away from that kind of single... like bonus back stuff or like early payouts we've seen basically. I mean, it's only been 5 rounds of AFL NRL, but we haven't seen many companies, especially the big ones, doing that this year, which is the first time in maybe 10 years. We obviously were back in the 2013, 14, 15 years where we were just absolutely hammering these and making a killing off. But nowadays, all the promotions are on racing, but they're also on same game multis and same race multis, which is kind of where they know. So I think we're going to keep seeing the shift towards that. The gambling industry will keep getting worse. Whether we see promos go away, I don't think that'll happen. I think it's still
Yeah.
there's still enough. Like at the end of the day, man, like we've got a community of 6,000 people, probably about 250, let's say 200 of our paid subs or paid members are doing this on a regular basis. At the System by Trumpy, 310 paid subs. I'd say 290 are doing it on a regular basis. So you got 500 people there, or close to whatever, 500 people doing it.
Yeah.
Then you've probably got another 3 to 5,000 people around the rest of Australia doing it.
Yeah.
Man, there's 26 million people in Australia or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's a drop or a speck. So
Yeah,
the amount of profit that our communities are making, anyone else doing this, is a drop in the ocean. So they can still continue to offer these promos to us. And we don't see them going anytime soon. We'll see them change potentially, but we'll always be able to adapt. And there'll always be opportunities to still make profit using it. And like if you said to me 5 years ago that we're in this situation now where there was no sport promos, I'd be like, oh, you can't do it anymore. But
Yeah.
we've moved to teach people how to do it on racing. We've moved to using racing promotions. There's always going to be opportunities.
There's always new ways, yeah.
Yeah, I at the end of the day, those promotions are there to entice losing punters, and they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
But in saying that, we probably will see them try to push towards the markets that are more, I guess, favourable for them.
Yeah, I agree. Because even in the Facebook groups, all you're seeing these days is people posting multis,
Yeah.
like same game multi predictions. You don't really see many people posting like a single prediction,
No.
right? Like even if it's like a plus EV, they won't post it. It's just because it's not hype, it's not exciting.
Correct.
You can see that the industry is going that way.
Yeah.
But I had another question on top of this was, do you envision more sports betting companies entering the industry? I think we've seen a few that, I think sort of just surprised us as well. Join in the past 12 months. Do you see more and more smaller companies entering the industry over the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, in the last like I was surprised like in the last 3 months because I don't do much betting anymore, but obviously we've got the community now, we can see what other people are doing. And someone sent me a list of bookies the other week and I was like, I haven't even heard of like 6 or 7 of these bookies. And they're all just constantly coming through. So you do have to be careful, I think, with the smaller ones, just to see how they're going first. Not to say that you're going to do your money, but like if they don't have any history, they're not like sports bet. Sports are not going to go broke.
Yeah.
I should raise this now. I'm going to expose BBET here. I actually got a couple of messages from some of our members saying that BBET were actually disabling withdrawals on people's accounts.
Wow.
So you couldn't even withdraw. Someone's max withdrawal the other day was $18.
What?
And he had like 300 in his account. He was trying to get it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing there, but if you've got a BBET account, just tread with some caution there. I know they've, in the past, on some of my experiences a couple of years ago, they were pretty, I guess, a little bit dishonest with the way they were operating and holding funds and stuff like that unlawfully. But obviously, when it's coming across through the community that other people are doing that as well and getting that experience, just tread carefully with them. So we want to help out anyone who's got an account with them, just be careful. But yeah, in terms of seeing more companies, I think for sure, because the reality is being a bookie is like printing money. You're going to get money because people are going to donate to you. At the end of the day, all you need to give them is some kind of offer or enticement or incentive, to actually put money in your account, and suddenly they're betting with you.
Yeah, exactly.
They might run away after 2 weeks, but you're still going to probably take their wins.
Yeah.
And obviously you take the money off them.
And I think the laws in Australia make it super easy, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure with the licensing or how much the cost is, but it mustn't be that hard if there's so many popping up.
I was going to say with that, do you also think, I know we've seen in America, we've seen Barstool Sportsbook, which was like sort of a community, and now they've gone and made a sports book. Do you see something potentially happen like that in Australia over the next 5-10 years? Because we're seeing a lot of emphasis, and like a movement among communities, especially in the Facebook groups.
Well, I think we've already seen that with, I don't want to mention it or give them airtime, but they're probably big enough now. A lot of people talking about it, but Dabble.
Yeah.
They're like a community bookie. I don't 100% understand how it works. I think it works with you following like tipsters on that app and stuff like that, which unfortunately ends in you losing more, because the reality is not many people win on the punt.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there who think they're profitable. They hit one bet and then suddenly they've got a following of everyone asking, or what's next? Where's your next tip? It's like, bro, again, go back to the Touch Lotto. Would you follow someone who's just won Touch Lotto?
Yeah.
No, because they're lucky.
Exactly.
They're not winning because they have some kind of method or system. So maybe, I'm not sure about that. Maybe you probably have better predictions around that because you've seen more of the American stuff opening up and the way that's grown over the last 6 months especially. And obviously now with us going deeper into the USA market, we expect to see what we're seeing now in Australia get transitioned over there in terms of the gambler behavior. At the end of the day, this isn't a country. It's human psychology, and it's not if you're American or if you're Italian or if you're Greek or if you're Egyptian or Russian. Your psychology is still the same as everyone else. So the same cues work, the same marketing works, the same dream selling works, the same sounds and highlights and fucking excitement works.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're humans. We want a thrill. We want everyone loves the thrill of something, but at the end of the day, the house always wins unless you have an edge over them. So yeah, I guess any way that they can make money, they will. And if that goes down that pathway of like Barstool Sports, obviously they use other ways, like they're tricking you into getting celebrities, and they're marketing it through like other stuff like sporting highlights and stuff like that, and then linking it back to what they want you to do, which is the core, which is gambling.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, I just think I think my prediction is basically it's just to become the industry will become more innovative, more clever in the marketing tactics and like in ways that you just don't think they're actually marketing towards you, but they actually are. Like they're planting a seed and it's just growing.
That's the best form of marketing. I mean, we do that. We're obviously we're not selling a scam. We're selling something that helps you. But the best way to market something is to actually like slowly transition someone across a spectrum for readiness to buy. And the only way you do that is to teach them slowly, and then obviously apply the right tactics to person along that spectrum. If you come and say, hey man, buy my course, in the first minute I meet you, you're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
But if I teach you how to do the free course first, and then you see how it works, and then you're someone who wants to learn more, then you're more chance of buying it than someone else. And obviously we're not going to just, they're doing the same thing with their marketing. And it's all thought out. It's all clever. At the end of the day, how many minds are there in the world? 200,000 employees.
They say there are approximately 200,000 employees in the betting industry. So you're
in the world.
In the world. So you're betting against them.
Yeah, so I mean, we just posted a new video on Explainer video, and it's like, who's going to win 200,000 minds versus you? Most likely 200,000 minds.
Exactly, But no, I think that's a good prediction. And probably my last prediction, I know you don't like this, but I think crypto will be integrated into the sports betting industry somehow. Either you can bet with Bitcoin or like these cryptocurrencies. But I think down the line, it's just another way for them to make more money, because young people into crypto, they make money off them. But I think that's a good segue into moving in towards what we wanted to focus on today is like sort of these psychological models, which come out of literature and like it's proven studies related to gambling addictions. And so there's sort of 5 big concepts they've come across. We'll start with the first one, which is gambler's fallacy. Basically, what it is, it talks about the concept. Like say for example, you go to the casino and you're playing roulette, right? Yeah. You don't play. You're standing at the casino. You see red come up 7 times in a row. You're like, okay, it's black is due. So you put like all your eggs on black, and guess what? It's red. Yeah. And it's just a fallacy thinking that just because something's happened so many times, it's not gonna happen again. And a lot of people I think actually bet like that. I know you probably have an example of that in the sports betting industry, but that's sort of the first thing I think we want to talk about.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a mutually exclusive event. So every time you roll a dice, the chances of a 1 hitting is 1 in 6 every time. Same with you flip a coin. Just because it hit 8 times in a row tails, it's not more chance of hitting heads next one. Yeah. It's back to 50%. It's a level playing field. So I think this comes back. A lot of people think like, because now I'm part of the system and I'm on the customer service, we've got this question a few times a week, and it's like, hang on, if I start signing up to your program or your system, you're going to start losing. It's like, no, man, like you're not unlucky. Like it's mathematics. Mathematics doesn't... it's not biased towards luck or unluckiness. It's figures. That's it. There's the numbers is numbers, right? So if you have an edge, you still have an edge tomorrow, today, yesterday. Just because you start betting, it's not going to change anything just because you think you're unlucky. Yeah. And people need to get out of that mindset of thinking they're unlucky, because there's no such thing as luck with numbers. I mean, yes, you can put $5 on in a Tatslotto and you might win 5 million, right? That's pure luck, okay? But you have no control over that, and you're not more lucky or lucky because you won. It's just you got lucky that day. So when you have a system and a mathematical system, it's literally that. And that's the same with the roulette. Same with the casino, going a bit off topic, but casino and roulette table, for example, have how many numbers? Like 38, I think?
Oh, I'd have no idea, but yeah, something like that.
Sorry if we're wrong, but 38 numbers, let's say. But then they've got the 0 and some cases 2 zeros on the table. So 0 and a double 0. So those 2 extra numbers completely destroy the person's chances of winning, and the house will always win, because if you're just betting on black and red, if that green hits or the double 0 or the 0, you lose. So that's how they get their edge. So that's a mathematical win for them that will always be there,
Yeah.
and they will never lose because of that. So,
And you see the same thing in sports betting, for example.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, Buddy hasn't kicked,
Yeah.
5 goals in like 10 weeks. He's
Yeah.
due. Like,
Yeah.
and then they place a bet and it doesn't happen. That's gambler's fallacy because you think
Yeah.
because he hasn't done it for so long, you think it's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
But just because you think doesn't mean that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's, at the end of the day, you need to have a system of structure, and it's why you see so many people addicted to gambling because they apply this sort of thinking to their betting, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't have no edge. You still don't have no edge. You still don't have no system, no structure.
Yeah.
Just because you think something's going to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen,
Yeah.
right? So
you're at the peak of Mount Stupid, as we like to say, when it comes
Yeah.
to the Dunning-Kruger effect. We'll chuck the graph up on the screen, but do you want to explain quickly what that is in general?
yeah,
Again?
basically, like, Dunning-Kruger effect, has high competence, high confidence. Mount Stupid, you're at high low competence.
Yeah.
High confidence, right? So you think you know more than you do, but you actually don't. And that's a lot of people, and I think it's really related to gambler's fallacy because you think you more than you know what you do, but you have no structure, no system.
No.
You haven't, calculated as a strategy or like devised an edge.
Yeah.
So it sort of screws you over, right?
Yeah.
And you come back down to the valley of despair and the Dunning-Kruger effect, and then you come back up to where you have some knowledge and you have high confidence and high competence.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the journey we try to take people on.
Yeah. Of course.
With the Hussla squad. But
at the end of the day, you need to learn the hard way by going down through that valley of despair and up the slope of enlightenment to actually make the plateau of sustainability, which is obviously where we're not saying we are, but maybe in this industry we are.
Yeah.
We'd be at the peak of Mount Stupid in plenty of other investments or plenty of other topics. And you lost 26K in Forex.
Exactly.
And I lost like 14 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks, and I think fair to say we were over the peak of Mount Stupid.
With Mount Everest.
In terms of relating that back to gambling, I think Dunning-Kruger effect, you can relate it back to basically any topic. You'll see people who think they know more than they do when it comes to stocks. It's all the same principles. Crypto, same shit.
Yeah. It's just a culture. I think it's also another culture related thing. But
Yeah.
no, I think that's really good. I think we'll just move towards our second topic, or the second sort of model related to gambling addiction, which was the availability heuristic, because I think it's sort of related to the gambler's fallacy. So the availability heuristic, it's just like, a really fancy name that basically explains the fact that, you see in a Facebook group, I see someone post a multi, 10 ticks, he's put $10, he's won 50K. I start imagining, wow, that could be me. It looks easy, right? So let me start doing those multis.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, without even realizing, you become addicted and start placing those multis or bets every week or freaking every day.
Yeah.
And that's what we call the availability heuristic. And I think it's actually one of the most common, psychological models related to gambling. And because we see it a lot, especially in Australia with the Facebook groups. But I think maybe if you just give a few examples on that, just for the people listening.
Another great way to market the dream is to see the dream. And we spoke about this already. If you're seeing someone else win, then you suddenly think it's really, really common. Not realizing that person has been probably placing bets for 5 years and they probably hit 2 out of 500 bets, or maybe more, 5,000.
Yeah.
And great, they've won, but that's not going to be you all of a sudden. And the chances of you hitting that are much less than what the odds say.
Yeah.
Because the bookies rig the odds, especially on same gamers and all these big multis. The odds of what the multi should be is much higher than what you're getting.
Yeah.
So you might be putting a 10-to-1 multi, a 10-to-1 multi on with 10 legs. That should be, in theory, on some cases, be paying 20-to-1, but you're getting 10-to-1. So if you do win, you're getting ripped off as well. And the reality is you're not going to win. And when you do win, you should have won way more. And over the long run, even if you're winning, you're actually losing because the bookies got the edge still, and they can afford you making one win every 10 because you should be winning way more commonly according to your odds, or way so.
And it's funny because you see those pictures of there's multis in the Facebook group. For some reason, I don't know, it just triggers this emotion where you think you have a more chance, or a more likely chance of winning, which is not true. But for some reason, it just triggers that emotion.
We're going through our insights before on one of our Facebook groups, and we're seeing what the most common posts are. It's our Facebook group that we have, but we don't post in it, and we're looking to do some obviously Hussla squad education in there. And we're discussing the best ways to go about it. And it's a common theme among all these three groups. The best posts and the most common with all the ones with 500 likes on them and 300 comments is the one with the big payout and the green tick. And every single TikTok we've ever done or every single reel we've ever done is always got a multi or some kind of big payout or some kind of dream that nearly hit or hit. And everyone wants to get involved with the comment and tag their mates and asking for that guy for tips because he hit one bet. And it's just like, man, it's exactly this. It's like all of a sudden you've got this idea that now you're going to start winning. And unfortunately, you're just getting sucked in. And this is elite marketing again by the bookies. It's like when they post, I don't know, Sportsbet posts like the best punter of the week or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, this guy's just won 10K. And they email that to everyone and they say, oh, he's our punter of the week. And it's like, no, that's your one out of 100,000 punter who's won.
And the reason they do that is because of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Correct.
Because they know people have high confidence and low confidence. They know people think that they know everything and they're actually on the peak of man stupid. Sportsbet knows that. All these betting companies know that. That's why they're sending you that. And then they're more inclined to bet. But I think it's like the perfect segue to the third one. So the third psychological model, which is related to gambling, is aversion to loss.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite because I was the biggest, I think, culprit of this.
Yeah.
So this is basically, the concept of this is, say for example, you place a 5-leg multi on AFL. Your first 3 legs hit, you're like, yep, I've got 2 more legs left. I'm gonna win, $1K off $10. 4th leg loses. You're like, loses by 1 point. You're like, crap, man, fire, I was so close. So like the 5th leg was gonna win. I was so close. So then I go and put another $100 on the 5th leg because I think it was that multi was bound to win. Yeah. I lose again. No thinking, just all emotion related betting, all because I was so close. It's like I was so close to the pot of gold. That's the way you think, and it gives you that dopamine rush. But I know I was the biggest culprit of this. I was reading the psychological models.
I've done this 100%.
And I think this is a big issue, especially I see this on the Facebook groups because you see someone make a multi for the weekend. Their first leg is on a Friday. And then Saturday, they hit the Saturday one. Then Saturday night it loses, and like, okay, let me make another.
Sunday.
Let's do a Sunday one. Let's just do another one on Sunday with the same legs.
Yeah,
it doesn't change.
Same odds as before. Same chances of winning as before. Same odds, same edge in the bookie's favor. Same shit, all the same.
Yeah, so it's like for me, it's just like what goes through. I think you have to think about it and process it because
it's very easy to do.
It's very emotion related. Yeah,
it's so easy to do. Like I used to do this when I was younger, for sure. Like you used to do it.
Yeah,
you used to message me we've discussed this. Like, every week, man, you're gonna hit the fucking 10-leg EPL multi. Yeah. You clocked it. The first leg sometimes hadn't even hit, man. It's home. I'm going to buy a new car and shit. Like, no, bro, you haven't even won. You're going to lose again. You go next week.
Exactly.
8 out of 10 legs. Oh, but I just missed 2. Next week when you replace that multi, you don't have a nearly chance of winning again. It's the same chance.
Chance, exactly, man.
And that's what people don't get. It resets. There's no, you got unlucky last week, you're going to get close now. And next week you're going to go again, you're going to hit it. Nah, unfortunately, you might hit 2 out of 10 next week and you still lost. And that's the reality of multi-bets. You need to hit 10 out of 10 legs to win the bet. Otherwise, you are literally last. If you're not first, you're last with the multi. And unfortunately, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's why the bookies will always win if you keep doing multis. Simple.
It's so true. Do you see this also in system by Trumpy? Because I think sometimes I lurk in the groups and I sometimes see people like, oh, I missed the race. Yeah. And then they go and do their own race.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. Like, reality is when they come across to the system, obviously we get different people coming across.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who subscribe for a week, they're the ones that from the start. You talk to them and you kind of know they're not going to be there for long. Unfortunately, the way it works is you see them jump into the group, you see their payment come through 1 week, $24.99, and you go, okay, this guy either just wants to try it out and he's genuine, or most likely and more likely, he just wants a quick fix and he doesn't really understand what it's about, and he will probably jump off if the system doesn't go plus 20 units in one day. Simple.
Yeah.
So what you'll see is those guys come in, and obviously the system is designed to win long term. Long term isn't a day or a week.
Yeah.
There's going to be losing days and losing weeks, but never losing months. Never losing months to this point in time. 17 months public. We did it, and Mike Pence did it for 4 years prior to it. Never had a losing month as well.
Yeah.
Of course, losing days, losing weeks, but never losing months. And what will happen is these guys will come in, they'll not follow properly, they'll lose 2 times more than they should have because they didn't follow properly. They'll jump off, and then you'll never see them again. And then they might come back in a month's time and want to jump on after the system's just gone plus 20.
Yeah.
And they want to try and get back in because they missed it. And it's like, or they'll come back in and up their unit size double because they want to chase what just happened that they weren't involved in. And as well as that, you'll see people like as well. This is a big one. They'll miss the race, and obviously the system needs promotional insurance on every bet, right?
Yeah.
You need to place a bet with promotion. So the bet, like, the race might start and they haven't placed their bet, and obviously if they place the bet without the promotion, they're giving the edge back to the bookie. And when we say, obviously, if you've missed the race, if you've run out of time to place the bet, just leave it. Walk away, don't watch the result. You can't change it. You missed out, bad luck. If it loses, great, you saved yourself. If it wins, well, you missed out, unlucky. But unfortunately, these guys will still want to place the bet. They'll go and bet on it live.
Live.
With lower odds and no promotion, and obviously then it will lose, and they're like, fuck, I just lost the full unit. Comes second or third, no bonus back. So it's like, 100%, man. You the reality is we try and change them, but it takes time to change mindset. It doesn't take 1 week, it doesn't take 1 day. It takes months.
Step by step,
And surrounding yourself with community, association, environment, all that accelerates that. But reality is it still takes a long time, even years in some cases. And people have relapses, but they'll still, come back to that emotion stuff.
I agree. I think we spoke about this last time. Like, the number one thing you can do to change your betting habits is first recognize that you have those betting habits. Then second is, change your environment, because a lot of these people are in these betting groups where it just feeds, the wrong bit of emotions towards you without even you knowing it. And then I think third then is just then, establishing new system and structures. I think that's what's really great about Hussla and the system, is that we try to do that. We try to help people, provide them that layout and structure. But one thing we really do is make sure first these people have changed their mindset and changed the environment. And that's why we have the free course Discord. That helps you change your environment. And then once you're ready, you can just then shift on towards platinum,
I think the best one for me, that because I've spoken to probably, I don't know, maybe 3,000-4,000 people in the last 2 years doing this and educating like one-on-one. And the number one thing that, and it firstly helps people the most, is telling them it's a numbers game. So at the end of the day, if you think you can beat the bookies without an edge, you need to delete that mindset first and foremost, because you cannot. It's simple. It's a numbers game. And as I said before, maths isn't lucky. It's numbers, and it's set. They're the rules, and that's it. They've been around for millenniums, and they'll never change. So when you realize that and you can accept that you're not going to win doing it your way, then suddenly you go, okay, well, maybe I actually should go and learn how that works, because that wins. My way doesn't. And sometimes people, what will happen is, we get this a lot. You'll get someone message you and they'll be like, hey man, someone messaged us the other week and they sent us like a multi they won on Instagram to like shove it in our face or whatever. And I'm just like, all right, good luck, man. Like, in a nice way, I'm like, look, you're going to lose long-term betting like this, but they think they've clocked it. Like they're at the peak of man stupid. And unfortunately, you can tell them whatever you want. The next bet's going to be double, it's going to be triple, it's going to be quadruple, and all of a sudden they're back to zero. And then they're going to go down valley of despair. They might wake up and they might repeat it. But reality is, when they're at that here, they think they're the king. That's when they're at their most vulnerable, and unfortunately, that's when people realize the hard way. And sometimes you just have to let them do it, because they're going to come back. And it's funny because we've done it, so we can see what's going to happen before it happens. And we're not like geniuses, but it's just, we know, because it's just back to numbers. It's like
journey,
they're going to lose, but they don't know that. They think they're not going to lose. They think, man, I've got the best tips. I've clocked it. I've worked out a system. I've been practicing for the last 4 days. It's like, unfortunately, systems last. You have to prove them over years, man, not 4 days. And then, anyway, 2 months later, oh fuck, man, I lost all my money. Can I do your free course? Like, it's still there, man. It hasn't changed since. Maths is still the same. So,
I think that one's sort of linked to the fourth model, which is well, not our model, but the psychological models related to gambling addictions. Is the fourth one is the illusion of control. So example of illusion of control is basically where you think you have control over the outcomes of what's going to happen. I remember there's a funny one. I'm going to mention names, but we had a friend who he would see 11-11 and he'd think, oh, it's a lucky time. So if I place a bet, so if I place a bet, I'll win. And that is illusion of control. That leads you to become addicted to gambling. Another one is, oh, it's my birthday. If I place a bet today, I'm going to win. Or that horse, like, like that name. That's like, it's my sister's name. Oh, I'm going to win. Like, it's like, it doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game, as you just said. It's not. Betting is not related to your emotions or your superstitions and whatnot. As much as you want to believe that,
100%,
it might happen, once in a blue moon.
Yeah, that's called a coincidence.
A coincidence, right? But at the end of the day, you have the numbers. It might seem boring, but that's you having that structure and that system. Is what's going to lead you to making money long term.
No, spot on. And this is the thing. Like, a lot of the people who suddenly, First, I'll say it's bullshit. Then, when they realize they might watch something, they realize it's legit. The next attack is it's not fun. It's boring.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, is it? When you go sit in the chat, go sit in the free chat and ask me if the people that are making guaranteed profit every week, is that boring? It's not boring.
Or even the Hussla is making 10K a week.
Yeah. Well, is it boring for him?
Yeah.
He's like, come on.
I'd rather make 10K a week doing Hussla stuff than...
Well, yeah, 10K is like an anomaly, an outlier, but there's people making 2K, 3K, 5K, 500 even a week, 300 even.
Yeah.
The reality is you're probably losing 100, 200, some people might be losing 2, 3K a week.
Yeah.
Man, someone messaged me the other day on the Trumpy system, and this is we'll close it up after this. I don't know if you wanted to talk more about.
I think there's one more. There's one more.
Well, first I want to just add this in, and we spoke about this guy came to us and he said, I want to follow the system, and I want to follow it with $1,000 and $2,000 units.
Yeah.
And he was about to sign up on the 6 monthly, and I said to him, look, man, I think you kind of don't. It might not be for you because you can't really follow the system on $1,000 units. It's a borderline impossible. It's possible, but you would need to have 50 phones and probably 4 people working for you.
Yeah.
And some people do it, but it's very, very high end. And I said to him, look, if you're going to follow this system, you most likely have to follow with like a $50 unit size to start at a maximum, more likely 30 to 50. And I said to him, look, I know for a fact you're going to say that's not worth it. So I sent him the recording. I don't know if he listened to it all because he came back and said, look, $50 is not going to do it for me. I need big bets. I need $1,000 bets, $2,000, $3,000 bets. And I want a system that's going to make me fucking 10K a week. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. Because this guy obviously had a lot of money. Money wasn't an issue for him. He was down hundreds of thousands on his accounts. He was getting 5K deposit matches every week from his VIP manager at Ladbrokes.
Wow. And
reality is, you can just tell he just wanted a thrill. And that's fine. That person could afford to lose 5K a week or whatever. And I respect that, but at the same time, if you're coming into the any investment with the core concept of it being a thrill, and you're still trying to make money, that's going to override this winning, because this emotion here is going to just fucking take over everything else, and all your structure is going to go out the window. Your edge, you don't have an edge, but you don't have any money management. When you win, you might have a win, right? This guy wins 2 to 3 to 1s, he reckons a lot. But his account are down hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how is that? Something's not adding up there. So obviously when he wins, he's obviously betting more and losing. And again, it comes back to mathematics. And I said to him, look, man, you're not going to win doing this, and what you're looking for doesn't really exist. Yeah. You're looking for this system he goes, even if you told me I could make 100K risk-free a year, I wouldn't be interested. So this guy, man, he's at a high level of obviously income, but also desensitized to money. Yeah. And when you get to that point and it becomes more of a thrill, I don't know the solution, to be honest. You need to maybe, go do it. If you can lose $100,000 a year and have fun and you're still not impacting your life, then, do it. But a lot more stuff, people out there could be doing a lot more with that money.
Exactly.
And that's not to say what he's doing wrong. I respect that he can do that. But it just goes back to, going off a little bit off topic, but just how some people... they can get caught up in the emotions of it all and lose the structure and the edge. And, they just go off course and try and think they can clock it when they can't.
Dunning-Kruger all over again there.
But
I think the last model, I think related to what you think, or sort of where the betting industry is going, is partial reinforcement. So basically this sort of psychological model talks about how in our brains, we think we're not actually, if I bet $50, I'm actually not going to lose $50. So this is related a lot to the same game multi offers, and there's racing offers where if you do a racing multi and one of those races loses, you get money back. Yeah. So what happens there is your brain is set up in that, I feel for sure that these 2 legs are going to win. And then the third leg is a risky one, and if it doesn't win, I'll get at least my money back as a bonus. So it makes you addictive because you think you're not losing that $50. Yeah. But in reality, if you lose 2 of those legs, you lost the $50 anyways.
Correct.
You're not getting a bonus back. And
even with the bonus back, the bookies, as a stat, I think they convert 12% of their bonus. So in terms of if the bookie donates $100,000 worth of bonuses across a weekend, they expect to lose $12,000 from those bonuses. That's it. 12% of bonus. So if they can hand out... Sorry?
It's a good marketing cost.
Legit, elite. So as hustlers and anyone who understands bonus turnover,
Yeah.
at an absolute minimum, you should be turning over any bonus absolutely risk-free for 65% of its value. Just following the tutorials that are in the description here, we'll link like a basic bonus turnover.
Yeah.
But that's 65%, but the bookies expect to get and only lose 12%. So because they know, like you said, the person's betting, they do a 3-leg multi, put $50 on it, 2 legs miss, they get their bonus back.
No, 1 leg misses, you mean?
Sorry, 1 leg misses, they get their bonus back. And what are they doing with that bonus? They're not turning it over. They're going in again on another 10 to 1 to get their money back, and they lose it. Yeah. So they didn't lose 50 minus 65%.
Yeah.
Or 35%. They're losing 50.
Yeah.
And then the bonus is just getting thrown back to the bookie.
Yeah.
Some people might win. They might go again. They increase their money. They lose it all anyway. So it's the same result.
Yeah, and I think that's why those offers have been so successful, and that's
correct. Why
I think your prediction, I agree with it. Like that's where the betting industry is going in terms of they just got to keep giving those offers, and you see it across all sports now. Like you see it in the EPL, you see it in NFL, you see it in NBA, even baseball these days, tennis. Like you're seeing it everywhere now. So
even the offers have changed from 1 leg to 2 leg now on tab. I think it was, or maybe sports. I think it was tab. 2 legs. If you fail 2 legs, you get a bonus back. So sorry, change. It was 4 legs and 1 leg fails.
Yeah.
So you need to have 4 legs, not 3. So they've increased their odds.
Increased even harder.
Correct. So the more legs they add, they know that's a massive edge again.
Yeah.
And like they're just taking away more edge as it goes.
I think that offer is literally sort of encompasses all these things we just spoken about. Like
it's genius.
Like
it's not
aversion
luck.
to loss, Dunning-Kruger, sort of that gambler's fallacy. Like it just incorporates all those things, and it's just like genius. I think marketing, and they know people should have spread those multis as well. I think they've even also got that share button, right? You can share your multi or something. Like.
There's on Sportsbet. There's the
betting with mates or something.
No, the common bet, the popular same game multi now pops up in the app, and it's like, come on, man, like that's not a popular same game multi.
Exactly.
It's what you guys think is the lowest expected value for you guys to put on your platform. Exactly. And if it wins, great. All those punters have won if they are actually on it, if they're real. And then they should have got paid out 1.5 times what it should have been, but they didn't. But now their money's in their account, and what do they do next? They double their stake, 3 times their stake, put it on the next Greyhound favourite, and the losers, and they lost all their money anyway. So same result for the bookie. But they've kind of encapsulated you with some hope, got some win,
done it,
and then back to square one.
Exactly.
Taking your money. So I think that's enough for today. What do we got next on the podcast?
I don't know. A few people want us to talk about crypto. I know you're not a big fan, but
as long as you're not telling people what to fucking buy and putting predictions on our company.
We're waiting for predictions.
At the end of the day,
I think we'll talk about the concept of it. We'll talk about where we see what's happening with the industry, where it's going. I think there's also some betting stuff related towards crypto these days as well. So we'll talk about that, but we'll get an expert on there. Since
a lot of disclaimers when it comes to crypto. At the end of the day, if you're hitting anything with structure, like if you're investing like let's say 5% of your total wealth or 10% of your total wealth into like a diversified portfolio in crypto, then it's fine. Making sure you have a structure, but we won't go into too much detail. But just if you're watching this, guys, or if you're listening to it on any of the platforms, make sure you do leave a review or leave a 5-star on Spotify or whatever. It'd really help us, and obviously share it to your mates if they're a gambler and they're losing. If you have stories that you think, or if you think any bookie should be exposed, or if you have any kind of story that you think is worthy, send it in to us, because we obviously want to help as many people as possible. If you have a mate who you think would be a cool story, or your own story from converted gambler to non-gambler or
entrepreneur,
someone, like we're obviously not just about gambling here and betting. We obviously that's our specialty, but obviously we want to help a lot more general shit and change mindset around goals, entrepreneurship, investing. I don't know.
And let us know if you have any topics that you want us to cover. We're happy to either cover it ourselves. Or get some other people on there. Like next week for the crypto, we'll get one of our good friends of ours to come on and give us the expert opinion and knowledge on that. But feel free to let us know if you have any suggested topics. Happy to hear from you, and let us know if you have any questions on the stuff we covered today. Perfect. I know it was a bit scientific here and there, but we try to make it as relatable as possible. But I think thanks JP for that. I think it was a good chat, and I think you gave really good examples of some of those psychological models I threw at you. But
no, that's fine. It's easy to apply models when you just see it all the time every day. So cool. We look forward to next week, or whenever it is.
Perfect, sick one. And follow us on YouTube, Subscribe there.
Yeah.
Spotify. What else? Got Instagram.
Yeah, we've got Google and Amazon as well, and
Yeah.
I think Apple, but for some reason the Apple podcast is struggling a bit to play, but we'll fix that up. So hopefully if you listen to this on Apple, it's working now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a question, DM us on Instagram. That's the best way to get into us directly. And then, yeah,
Perfect.
we're open books. We want to help, so don't be shy. We'll see you next time.
Hussla out.